Hey y'all, so if you don't know me, my name is Autumn. I am going to be starting my YouTube channel. So this would be considered the first video, motivational, some testimonials, fun, family, some pranks. So my first video I'm going to lead you with is understand what you want and who you are. Sometimes we're in relationships that are bad, negative, and we end up losing ourselves, and then we break up. And then as soon as we break up, then we want to jump into another relationship. But you need to stop for a minute. You need to take time to get to know who you are, love yourself again, because in these relationships, we completely lose ourselves. We forget who we are. We forget what our standards are. We even lose our moral and ethical standards. And so we have to figure out what those are again. And while figuring that out, you have to learn how to forgive yourself and forgive who's done you wrong. And let me explain the forgiving yourself. A lot of time we sit back and be like, it's their fault, they caused it, and 90% of it may be their fault, but we also played a part. Either we played a part because we allowed it, we played a part because we enabled, we played a part because we were a bitch. Sometimes we can be, sometimes we're dead ass wrong. And we have to forgive ourselves in our communication, because sometimes we don't communicate or convey what needs to be said. And so by the time it gets bad, you blow up. And you could have explained that before you blew. Had you explained this before you blew up, you may not be where you totally are. So you do, even no matter if they did everything, you have to learn how to forgive yourself. You have to find God. Rebuild that relationship that you lost. You basically need to clean out your closet, because the next person that comes along, you don't want to have that baggage. Because if you bring in that trust baggage, the trust issues, the whatever other issues that you had going on, you don't want to bring it into that relationship. You want to be able to give yourself wholeheartedly and not be like, well, all dudes are like this, because all dudes ain't like that. Just the dude you deal with. And you also need to start dating outside of your type. That's one thing that I learned, that I didn't realize that I had a certain type, and I did. And I started dating outside. So yes, I did start dating outside of my type, and I'm glad I did. And I'm glad that I learned to forgive myself from my previous relationship, because my previous relationship was very toxic. I learned to love myself again. I learned to forgive myself so that I was able to bring it to the table. Like, for real, for real. So you have to do that. And just remember that every person that you meet, God put them in your life for a reason. There's something that you need to learn. So just because you broke up, I know it feels like death. Or even if you lost a friend, I know it feels like death. But not everybody that's been placed in your life is meant to be there forever. They're meant to teach you something. They're preparing you, especially in a relationship. It's preparing you. God's preparing you for the person that you're meant to be with. Because right now, if he gave you the person that you're meant to be with, you couldn't handle it. You're not ready. You're not ready to receive it. You ain't. So take this time to figure out, what were you supposed to learn? What's the takeaway from it? There's something, and it's not the takeaway dealing with that person. It's the takeaway of something within you. Figure it out. That's why you need about a year or two to figure it out, so that when it's time and God brings you that person you're supposed to have, you know how to handle it. You know how to deal with it. You know how to work with it, and you can respect him or her. Okay? So I'll leave you guys with that. More to come. I guess this is the more to come, because I have one more thing. The reason why I say you need to take the time to find God is because You need to have his armor wrapped around you for protection. So when you're meeting new people, they just bounce. Them negative people just bounce. Them ones that ain't right for you, they just bounce. They bounce, meaning they bounce off of you. They won't even. And not only that way when you do meet somebody, they're God-fearing. They also have God wrapped around them. So that when you start to date and it turns into a deeper relationship, y'all guys have God so wrapped around you, so tough, and that armor so tough that nothing can break it, and that you can conquer, and y'all guys will do everything and just strive. Because the relationships, those past relationships, I guarantee them past relationships, you didn't have God wrapped around. You may have it wrapped around you, or he wrapped around him, or vice versa. But if you have God wrapped around you in your relationship, you for sure gonna have God wrapped around your house. And can nobody break it. Nobody. No friend, no family member, nobody. And you guys will listen to each other and not people around you. And stop listening to people who ain't in a relationship. Or they in a relationship, but their relationship just worse off. It's just a different type of worse than yours. So keep that in mind. Now